about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5 Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
7.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the final hour of the Alex Jones Show. My name is Paul Joseph Watson, editor and writer for PrisonPlanet.com. Alex is away working on his upcoming documentary, so the final 50 or so minutes of the show, I'll be sitting in for Alex. And we've got huge breaking Bilderberg news. The debunkers have been out in the past few days in the London Telegraph and on Russia Today, lying and claiming that Bilderberg has no power. These 200 or so elitists from the pinnacle of their respective establishments, from academia, from the media, from government, from corporations, from the banking system. They say that basically these 200 people get together and they just discuss tiddlywinks or something. They just talk about the weather. You have debunkers claiming that Bilderberg wields no power over global affairs. Well, that's been proven completely inaccurate with a new story that's going up on PrisonPlanet.com within the next half an hour or so. And it's a big admission from a Bilderberg member on what really happens at Bilderberg and exactly how much power and influence the Bilderberg group does wield over current affairs. Now, this comes from a Belgian radio station. It's a mainstream Belgian radio station. And they were interviewing former NATO secretary and two-time Bilderberg attendee, Willy Klaas. Now, this guy was a former top minister in Belgium. As I said, he was NATO Secretary General from 94 to 95. And he gave an interview on a mainstream Belgian radio station, and this was also reported on by the Belgian news website zonewin.be, and we've got the translation of the quotes in this article that's coming up on PrisonPlanet.com. And Willy Klaas told the host that Bilderberg does indeed decide policy for the coming year. That's a translated quote. Bilderberg does indeed decide policy for the coming year. And he would obviously be in a position to know because he's been to Bilderberg on 2 separate occasions, and he was the 8th Secretary General of NATO. He was a bigwig, and he's also a top foreign affairs minister for Belgium. Now, why is this important that a current and former NATO secretary, a current Bilderberg member, Willy Klaas, admits that Bilderberg decides global policy? Well, because over the last few days you've had both the London Telegraph, a guy called Chip Burley, who appeared on Russia Today, and we're going to play that clip in a minute, claim that Bilderberg has no power over global affairs whatsoever, and the meeting has no significance at all. Now, we can go through the leaks that emerge out of Bilderberg meetings that are got by journalists there on the scene, but really the golden nugget is the fact that a Bilderberg member admits that they do set global policy. And Klaas said during this radio interview, quote, at first he said that each Bilderberg guest is given around 10 minutes of talk time in which they compile their presentation to fellow Bilderberg members at the conference. And then he said, quote, "The participants are then obviously considered to use this report in setting their policies in environments which they affect." And that's the direct translation of what he said. The participants are considered to use this report, so they use the report that the Bilderberg organisers have written up from their 10-minute speech. And then each individual Bilderberg member is mandated to enact that policy within their respective member nation. So this undemocratic, unelected, secretive elite does formulate the consensus which goes directly to forming policy in major Western and worldwide countries. Now, this was sent to us by a Dutch-speaking reader who's a Belgian, and he confirms that the translation is accurate. And we've got the translation of his quotes in this article that's coming up. And it represents a solid confirmation of basically everything that we've seen come out of Bilderberg in recent years, whereby the leaks of what is to happen in global policy in terms of the economy, the environment, war, and other sectors of global policy play out over the next 12 months. We've documented this many times with the oil prices, the 2002 Bilderberg meeting, which delayed the invasion of Iraq until 2003, and many other areas which we'll go on to explore in detail later. So this is a confirmation from a Bilderberg member that the group sets policy in a completely undemocratic and illegal manner behind closed doors, behind a steel ring of security. And this completely confounds the claims of people like Chip Belay, who appeared on Russia Today a couple of days ago to claim that the notion that the Bilderberg group had any power over global affairs was a fairy tale, a myth expounded by mainly racists and anti-Semites. And we're going to go to this clip now and then analyse the propaganda in a minute. So we play this clip of Chip Belay on Russia Today now.
We're joined by Chip Belay, an investigative journalist and sceptic, indeed, as he is, of the Bilderberg conspiracy theorist. Mr. Belay, evening to you. Well, as we saw there, the gathering's been held in Spain this year, a country that's, of course, no stranger to the tough economic times of late, as we just heard in that report. Even worries it could go the same way as Greece down the financial plug hole. Is that the type of story, the type of thing that's going to be topping the agenda of the Bilderberg meeting over the last 2 days? Even tonight, of course, as we heard, the euro's trading at a 4-year low.
People have every right to be angry at financial networks, and they have every right to demand accountability. But this idea that the Bilderberger Group is a secret elite force that controls the world economy and is building a new world order is a giant pot of spoiled borscht made from rotten beets. These claims go back to the late 1700s. There are a lot of malarkey. There are 15 or 20 other similar groups that have secret meetings. Most meetings between corporate leaders and government officials are secret. The press is not invited to them. This is a hoax carried out by people who believe in an elaborate fairy tale about how power is exercised in the world.
But hang on, Chip, if you were to put your PR advisor's hat on tonight, don't you think there's anything remotely sinister about this annual meeting? But no matter that it goes on every year, we don't know what's contained in it. It's not really great PR, is it, to shroud themselves with all this secrecy and tight security is bound to breed conspiracy theories. Why is the group so camera shy then?
Well, look, of course you're right. From a PR perspective, it's idiotic to have secret meetings with secret guest lists and a secret agenda. So, of course, that encourages conspiracy theories. But you also have the Trilateral Commission, you have the Council on Foreign Relations, you have the Club of Rome. You have dozens of these elite formations. And yes, they talk over policy, but the organization itself has no power. Powerful people with huge security apparatus show up at these hotels, and of course they lock lock down the hotels. You know, I'm an investigative reporter. I'm annoying. I try and sneak into meetings, and of course security keeps me out. This fantastic set of allegations is a stage play for the reporters.
But these are, as you just said yourself, are powerful people with a lot of world influence. Surely they're going to take back to their respective camps some of what they've talked about at said meeting, and that is going to have an effect on the global scene, isn't it?
And that effect will be covered by the media of dozens and dozens of nations. And the policies that are formulated don't hold any power within the nation. The people who go to the meeting, there's only like 2 or 3